back to the Christian Leadership Coach podcast. I'm Jessica Hepley at jessicahepley.com and leadingladiesmovement.com, both the same place. Check us out. I'm so glad you're back. This is just so fun to share these life stories with you that are so intimately weaved in with everything that I've learned from my Christian life coaching certification, all of these deeper rooted things that are helping set people free. But the other day, a couple weeks ago now, I was at my son's spelling bee. He is 10 years old. He's in the 4th grade. And I just there's just so many parallels. I'm like, I have got to talk to somebody about this. This is so a podcast episode. It just made me so proud because first of all, okay, it was optional to sign up for the spelling bee. Okay. It just had so many parallels to life. Optional. Okay. He didn't have to do it. It wasn't part of a grade. It wasn't part of if you're in 4th grade, you have to do the spelling bee. That's not what's happening. They had so he signed up on his own accord, and they had about a month to study and practice this spelling list and prepare for it. And first of all, I was really surprised that he even wanted to do it. And then anyways, he did. And then he was terrified, but he signed up, and I was secretly so happy because he's very shy and easily embarrassed, and basically me incarnate, but as a boy when I was a kid. But he chose to do something that he was terrified of. And so my pride, my mama bear was so proud. And it instantly made him my hero because he was way more courageous than I ever was in 4th grade. Okay. So I watched him study, and I saw him write out and practice the harder words. I listened to him nervously talk about it for weeks, and I watched his face light up when his dad offered to buy him a PS5 if he got in the top 5 of the contest, which, his dad offered to do that without talking to me about it first. And the PS5 is what he intentionally didn't get up for Christmas. Anyways, but my mama heart was just so torn because he talked about this PS5 that he wanted to win all the time. He dreamed about it. He talked about the games he wanted to buy to go with it. He was giddy about the idea, and he practiced his spelling words with the intention of winning the spelling bee. So another limbo emotional thing for me over here for Mama Bear is okay, this kid actually thinks he's going to win the spelling bee. Do I think he's going to win the spelling bee? Am I what's wrong? Why don't I have faith enough to believe that my child is capable of winning the spelling? It was just this internal dialogue going on. Anyways, Rob was out of town when the actual day of the spelling bee. So I had to rearrange heaven and earth to make sure that I was there. I had to change a lot of plans. And anyways, being there in that room just did something for me on the inside. Seeing all of those kids up there on that big stage with the bright lights and the audience, and choosing to put themselves out there. Okay. Choosing to possibly have to feel failure, embarrassment, fear, regret, all those painful emotions that we just keep trying to avoid at all costs. Okay. The possibility of those coming up, but when you do, with anything in life, when you do something new or scary, or something that's not guaranteed, you have the possibility of feeling fear, regret, embarrassment, or painful emotions. But they did it. These 8 to 11-year-olds in the spelling bee did it. And I cried in the audience. I just was so ridiculously proud of them because I know how scary it is to be up there on stage. Public speaking, actually, you probably know too, because it's one of the biggest fears of adults. Public speaking, getting up in front of people to speak. And but you have to think about, even public speaking as an adult, right? Usually, or even teaching a Bible class or just standing, usually you have notes, or you've rehearsed what you're going to say, or, at some of the conventions I spoke at, I have a teleprompter. But these kids didn't have that. They didn't have notes. They didn't have a teleprompter. They didn't prepare and planned what they were going to go up to the microphone and say. They were literally put on the spot. They didn't know what they were going to be asked to spell. And they chose to do it anyways. I'm just so proud. loud. Okay. This was like monumental to me. They walk up to a microphone one by one, all alone in a quiet, full auditorium where only one of two possible outcomes can happen. They are either about to misspell and get something wrong in front of a crowd of their peers and loved ones, or they're about to get something right and advance to the next round. Two options: the possibilities of devastation, embarrassment, and pain, or excitement, accomplishment, and confidence. There is a possibility for both, and they still chose to give it a try. Fourth graders, okay? Like, they still, possibility of failure or rejection or embarrassment, or the possibility of excitement and advancement and winning, okay? I don't know why I'm so like nostalgic about this. Like, I literally was having a moment sitting here in that audience because I saw on each one of their faces how devastatingly nerve-wracking this was. And I saw the disappointment on these kids' faces when they misspelled. And I saw other faces light up when they advanced to the next round. I saw both. We as adults have a lot to learn from this. Because how often do we not do something because of a fear of an uncomfortable emotion, uncomfortable feeling, or the possibility of getting let down, or not being good enough, or not being the best at something? Okay, so we just don't do it. I want you to pause right now. All y'all watching the video, listening on the podcast station, I want you to put your hand on your heart right now and let yourself breathe in and breathe out 3 times. Right, seriously, we're gonna do it right now. Deeply through your nose, out through your mouth. You have dreams. You have things you are curious about trying. There are things that I know you want that will require you putting yourself out there or having a conversation that might be difficult. There might be the possibility of failure, embarrassment, fear, or regret. But there is also the possibility of excitement and progress and success and fulfillment. You are capable of feeling them both, feeling the possibility of both, and still moving forward. You can do it. If those 4th graders can put themselves out there, you can too. Like the faith of a child, we have so much to learn from them. So much to learn from them. And Judson ended up, y'all, he ended up tying for 4th place. The mama heart, who was so nervous in the audience, filled with all of the emotions, watching her son put himself out there, ended up tying for 4th place. Okay, so now I'm a PlayStation widow because you know that prize wasn't just for Judson. That was as much as a prize for my husband as well. So it is what it is. But how can we all be more like a 4th grader?